Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the DCL Show, your source for Disney cruise news and reviews. Coming to you from the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida, I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friend, because there's only one person actually at the table this week, John Sakari, better known as Big Fat Panda from BigFatPanda.com.
How are you, sir?
Joining us via Skype, Dreams Unlimited Travel Agent Extraordinaire, Ms. Elaine Edwards.
I thought you were going with I wasn't your friend when you said that.
No, you are very much my friend, especially the way she books my trips. And, of course, back in the production nook, as always, our good friend and producer, Mr. Craig Williams.
Oh, hoy, hoy.
And just a reminder, this show, along with everything we produce, brought to you by DreamsUnlimitedTravel.com. We record these shows in bulk, usually 3 or 4 at a clip. And I've already done the spiel twice, and I don't feel like doing it again. If you like us and you want to support us, DreamsUnlimitedTravel.com is a great way to do it because that's how I pay for all this stuff. All right? So DreamsUnlimitedTravel.com. And, of course, you can always reach out to Miss Elaine Edwards directly. Right, Elaine?
That's right. Elaine at DreamsUnlimitedTravel.com.
There you go. All right. There's our plug. All right. Very excited about this show because I'm very excited about this topic. What we're looking forward to on the Disney Wish. And I am booked on the inaugural. Elaine, are you?
No, I am not. I'm not booked until September. I'm like so sad I have to wait until September.
Well, I was lucky being platinum. We were able to get that room for me.
You were platinum and you were the highest level of platinum because for that inaugural sailing, they actually split out platinum across 4 different days based on how high into platinum you were.
Wow. You're diamond now.
Well, that's what we've been saying for a while. That, you know, they need, because platinum is what, 10 cruises?
10, yeah.
Those of us that have done 40.
Yeah, you need another level.
There needed to be another level because I'm not alone in this. I'm not the only one that's done 40 plus Disney cruises. So I was really excited to see that. I know some people were pissed off that they were doing that, but worked for me. Worked for me, so I'm good. And of course, you know, being able to book right away, you're getting that lowest price before the ship fills up, and my lowest price was I'm in a concierge, a veranda concierge room, which honestly, very excited about that. But this cruise, this is a 5-night, it's a special 5-night cruise. It cost me $13,000 for that stateroom. So it's not cheap.
No.
And that was on day one.
That was on day one after I texted him the price for the 1-bedroom concierge. And he said, oh, hell no.
Because it was like, what, 20 some?
It was like 26 or some.
$26,000. Wow. I'm like, oh, I'm not spending $26,000 on a 5-night cruise.
That's crazy.
I'm even, you know, I was even a little hesitant.
I would have been surprised if you did, though.
No, I would have been surprised.
You would have been surprised.
Look, I don't mind spending the money, but there's a limit. There's a limit. And this is not something I would do every time. But it's the inaugural sailing of a brand new ship, not something that happens every day.
Right. You're a travel agency owner. You putting out the shows, like you needed to be on it.
I needed to be on the ship. I didn't necessarily need to be in concierge. That's not necessarily for content, although I'll get content from it. That was for me. That was for me because I work my ass off.
You do.
And so I get to do nice things for myself. Because if I don't, who the hell is, right? But you know, I've been on inaugural sailings before. I've been to christenings before, media cruises before. It's a very, very exciting event. And especially because you're among the very first people to see it. and experience it. And especially for me, talk about it.
Yeah, it's fresh.
And so getting something new from Disney in and of itself is exciting. But when you talk about a product like DCL, when you talk about something I love so much, I mean, I have to love it to have been on as many of these sailings as I've been on, then this is, I think it's the highlight of my year.
Is there anything in particular you're most excited about this ship? I'm not going till October, so I got to live.
It's not. I can't say there's anything in particular that I'm more excited about than anything else. I'm excited about all of it, but I'm excited about the experience. I want to see the design, the feel. What does it feel like when you walk on this ship? What's that? You only get one shot at a first impression.
Yeah. That atrium is a little bigger than the Dream and the Fantasy,
from what I understand. But I just want that. I want that experience, that walking on board experience. And what does it feel like? That's the stuff that's the most, what are these new restaurants like? What are the new experiences like? What are the different areas that we're familiar with on the other ships? How did they reimagine them on this? Now we can hear about we're doing this, the different releases they make, which they've been really good with how they're putting out the information and getting people ready. But all of that is academic. For me, this is emotional. I want to know, I want that emotional experience.
I get that. You're emotionally connected to the Dream. I can see that.
I am now. And I'm going to miss, the next cruise I have coming is on the Fantasy. I'm going to kind of miss the Dream. But I'm also happy that I'm going to do a 7-night cruise. So the Wish is going to be doing 3 and 4 night itineraries. It's maiden voyage, doing something special with a 5-night. But after that are all 3 and 4s, correct, Elaine?
That is correct. The 5-night that you're on is going to be a double dip, going to Castaway Key twice. I know, I'm so excited.
Do a little dance.
And after that, basically, the Wish is just taking the place of the Dream in Port Canaveral. So it's just going to do those alternate 3 and 4 nights for as far as we know, while the Dream goes down in Miami and starts doing some different things out of Miami. So.
Do we know what it's going to be doing out of Miami?
So it was also kind of doing the 3 and 4 nights, but then on the latest cruise release that came out, there was some different alternative things going on, but I can't remember off the top of my head. They all kind of run together at this point.
Yeah, they do. Are you booked on the Wish?
October for one of those Halloween cruises on the Wish.
Okay, and what are you looking forward to?
Okay, I love the shows almost as much as Craig loves Beauty and the Beast. He doesn't love it, but as much as Jackie does. So I like that they talk about this new projection mapping in this theater on the Wish. If you watch Beauty and the Beast, when the Beast gives the library to Belle, they project, a kind of rudimentary projection on the wall of books and stuff. But I like it because it brings the stage out. So now if they're doing this really technological projection mapping, there's a lot they can do, and I think they can upgrade the shows. So I'm excited about that.
You're such a nerd.
I love the shows too. Now the restaurants, I had a concern at first. I'm like, can I eat? It seems to be everybody's doing something. The Marvel characters are dancing. Elsa's swirling ice. I just want to eat first.
Well, Disney has a reputation for distracting you away from how bad the food is.
Not on the cruise, though. We know that.
Well, not on the cruise right now, because now let's be honest. The main dining rooms on Disney Cruise Line ships have been experiences reaching for mediocrity. Historically speaking, right now, because of the lowered capacity on the ships, they seem to be able, I don't know why it's making such a difference, but the quality of the food coming out of the kitchens is almost cooked to order good. So what are you looking forward to, Elaine?
So I have 2 main categories. One is the staterooms and one is the restaurants. And my whole thing is because they are so completely different than what we have seen on the other two ships. Even the staterooms, I mean, all four of the ships are different and they are all unique in their own way. But even I had somebody on the Wonder this week that they were texting me pictures of the room, and it's like, oh, that looks just like the Dream when I just went on it. Like, even the inside is pretty much the same room. And you look at the renderings for the Wish, and it's completely different. I mean, it is so bright and airy, and it just looks so relaxing and peaceful as compared to the other ships where it's those deep, dark colors that it's almost kind of too dark in the stateroom sometimes. This just is full of light, and it looks like a place I just want to be, because they're just so bright and airy. And they've got the new concierge ocean view rooms that actually face the front of the ship, so you're moving forward. There's only 7 of them, and they're Little Mermaid themes, and those were like, when the Wish came out for sale, those were the most popular staterooms on the entire ship. Everybody wanted those. So those will be very, very unique to have. The other thing was the restaurants. All 3 of the main dining restaurants are completely unique. Both of the adult-only restaurants and this other lounge as well, completely unique, unlike any of the other ships. And when I was looking at a Wish sailings to book for myself, I was like, I know I want to do both. I want to do all of them, but I can't do all of them. And I was looking at dates, and I'm like, well, I need to do the 4-night so that I can get to do as much as possible, but I can't do them all. So I ended up booking a back-to-back 4-night and a 3-night so that I can hit every single restaurant. You know, it's all in the name of research. I have to be a good travel agent, and the only way to do that is to do all of the
She's taking one for the team. She's taking one for the team.
You saw that 1923. Is that what it is, 1923, Elaine, the restaurant?
Right.
Is that a specialty, or is that one of the regular?
That's the regular rotational dining. There's also a Frozen one, and there's a Marvel one. And a lot of people have very differing opinions about these restaurants, but I'm excited to experience them just because they are going to be so different. I'm also on the 3-night. I actually booked concierge so that I could experience all of the concierge.
You're really taking that bullet, aren't you?
I am, because I've never sailed concierge before. So how can I recommend it to my guests if I've never done it?
Well, it's what you have to do.
This is a business write-off. I mean, it is.
I mean, they are.
They truly are. But I'm excited. I'm excited about all of it. But those are my 2 main categories. It's just all of the restaurants and the staterooms, because they are so completely different than the other ships.
Now, Craig, are you booked?
No, I am not booked.
You didn't take my offer.
I just
fine.
Fine.
See, this is, you see, I'm such a wonderful boss to work for. I told them all, because of how hard they worked through the pandemic, that they pay the deposit, I'll pay the balance.
We'll talk about it off air. Maybe I can still sneak in, but I'm anxious. I'm anxious to get on the Wish, and I am actually like Panda.
I'm hoping that media cruise.
Yeah, well, and that's I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that. But ultimately, I would hope I'd be lucky enough, and if Disney deems that I'm not, or you deem I'm not, then I would also accept that. But I'm like Panda in that I really want to see the shows because they're all 3. 2 of the 3 are brand new shows, but like for me, they're showing Aladdin on this ship. That's one of the ones that they're porting over from the other ships. I've only seen it once because it was always on the Fantasy, and 7-night cruises with what we do are very difficult to make actually happen. It's very hard to get away for 7 nights. So I've seen DCL's version of it. Not if you're you. No, that is absolutely true. But so I'm excited.
It's hard for me too.
I'm excited to get to see Aladdin, but then also they're doing a new version of The Little Mermaid on this ship that's like very jazz centric. They at Destination D23 they did they showed one of the numbers from it, Poor Unfortunate Souls, that felt like it was more at home in like Princess and the Frog than it would be in The Little Mermaid. So I think it's going to be different enough that it's going to attract a lot of people to it. And then the more family fun one is Disney Sees the Adventure. Disney Sees the Adventure, great play on words, and it follows Goofy as he discovers his own inner captain with the help of Captain Minnie and an all-star cast of Disney and Pixar characters. And while that could be extremely cheesy and make all of our teeth fall out from the amount of sugar they pump in that show, at the same time too, it feels different by having it be Goofy and then Captain Minnie. And this is like Captain Minnie's first big really platform to be on. So I'm excited about the shows. I'm really excited about having a drink in Hyperspace Lounge, the Star Wars bar that as you look out the window, it's, you're going to see the different planets and locations from Star Wars. And while it's going to be, of course, like one of those things that probably loses its fun after 30 minutes and that rubs off. But if there's interesting drinks and it's nerdy enough, I'm going to enjoy it.
I just hope, we've been having enough issues with the IP takeover of the hotel rooms. And now there's like an IP takeover of the ship. So I'm really hoping, and I trust Disney Cruise Line with this, but I'm really hoping that it remains tasteful.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
that they don't go that all in. It's all in your face everywhere you turn. I really hope they don't ruin the ship by doing that, and I don't think they will.
Yeah,
I don't think they will, especially if you look at the renderings specifically of the staterooms. The touches are very, very minimal. They say that they've brought a lot of the princesses into them, but it's very minimal when you look at the renderings. So I think they'll do a good job.
Yeah. It's subtlety is the important part of it.
Exactly.
As long as it's, I'm okay with all of the areas of the ship having Disney character theming placed in or Star Wars Marvel, but it's as long as it's subtle, that'll be the case. Inside the restaurants and bars and such, you want to go over the top, those you have to walk in the door to actually experience those locations. So I'm fine if those ones are over the top, but walking around the ship, I still want it to feel like the dream and the fantasy and the magic and the wonder. I want that elevated experience of cruising that makes you feel like you're in the old days of cruising, but with updated twists.
Well, based on everything I've seen from the renderings, it feels like the ship is going to kind of take the elegance to another level.
Yeah.
Silver, bluish, Cinderella-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the silver blue too is very Art Deco. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited for all of it.
I'm excited too.
I can't say that there's one thing in particular that I'm really excited about. I want to see the shows. I want to experience the restaurants, but I want to experience the ship. What does it feel like walking around? Where am I getting my coffee?
Yeah.
And what is that like? What's the concierge lounge like? All of it. I want that. I want those experiences.
So at least you're getting a 5-night to really get most of it.
Exactly.
A 3-night on that would be, I think, too quick for me.
Oh, it'd be criminal.
Especially because it's, you got to do at least a 4.
Yeah. So anything else? Anything else anybody wants to add? No? We're all good? All right. So why don't you tell us what you are looking forward to on the Wish or hearing about on the Wish in the comments down below. While you're there doing that, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for us. That helps us out a lot with YouTube. So that is going to do it for this episode of our show. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again next week with another edition of the DCL Show. Have a great week, folks.